Bryce Wylde, everyone. Give him a big hand. Thanks.
Nice job, Marilyn. Hey, we're always on the same page. Antioxidant foods, how are you?
Antioxidant foods.
Can you say aerocitric?
Aerocitric?
Hydrocarbons?
Hydrocarbons.
That's what we're trying to avoid there. Aromatic, aerocitric, and heterocyclic hydrocarbons.
Oh my gosh, you might not be able to say it, but you don't want it.
Antioxidants. My favorite recipe is the rosemary recipe for beef, by the way. That's got some best studies for its ORAC value, the oxygen radical absorbance capacity. Yeah. That's the ability for a food to take away carcinogens. So thanks for that, Marilyn. That was very well done.
Do not blacken your meat. That is the rule there as well.
Very important.
So now we want to talk about allergies. We want to talk about asthma. This can be a time of year that is super uncomfortable for people.
That's right.
Because of that. And there are natural remedies for you out there.
Absolutely.
What'd
Starting with allergies. And a lot of people are confused as to whether or not they're experiencing that spring cold or, sort of a virus or bacteria.
Right.
Incidence is pretty high with allergies. It's about 20%. So 1 in 5 of us suffer that. So no, it's not surprising that are we experiencing an allergy? And that's on the rise, by the way, for various reasons, pollution indexes and all kinds of other factors with the warming of the global incidence and so forth. So 1 in 5 people are suffering from allergies. But here's the deal. If you're experiencing a temperature, fever, and you're having yellow mucus or thickened mucus, that's probably a cold or a flu. If it's allergies, it lasts longer than that 10-day period. So that's when you want to consider this as allergies. Lots of things you can do for it as well. You can test with your doctor. A skin scratch test is one of the best ways to do this.
How accurate are those?
They all have variability, so depending on whether you're looking at something aerosolic or airborne, or you're looking at something that's foodborne, skin scratch has variability. But here's the caution and caveat is that a lot of these tests out there that are studying intolerances, or what are called immunoglobulin G sensitivities, are not the same thing as allergies. So let's not mix up our allergies and our intolerances. Okay? Each of them have variable levels of accuracy. Talk to your doctor about RAST or ELISA on blood, and those are probably the most accurate to determine your allergies to specific foods.
Sounds like two women. RAST or ELISA.
Or ELISA, yeah.
Ask about them. Also, the thing is, if it's allergies, you're probably going to feel an itchiness that you don't feel when you have a cold,
Itches everything.
right?
So
like
the definitive, it's that itch, that sneezing, that irritation, eyes are itchy, and there's a lot of natural solutions for that. So starting in the home, frankly, I mean, a HEPA filter, that high emission particulate, that very high efficiency 4-stage, the thing that you put on your furnace that takes out all those airborne particles. But the thing is, if you keep your windows open, that's not really going to help. So you got to close your windows, you got to keep your air circulating, and frankly, you got to vacuum with a HEPA, because this is more about what you remove than what you put in. This is a sample of 1 rug's worth of dander, pet dander.
I feel itchy just looking at that, and I don't even get allergies.
A lot of us are actually
stuff.
allergic to insect slough or skin that's coming off us, and that sounds gross, but that's what's all around our house. Got rid of that, and then use the HEPA filtration system. There's also, by the way, these really great screens you can put on your windows at home that prevent up to 0.001 microns from getting in the home. That's really
keep them out.
Really
and you also say shower, get it out of your hair, get it off of your
before you go to sleep.
We shower anyways, right?
Right.
But
rather than in the morning, at night. So listen, and the other thing is showering your nose. So showering your body is important because you're getting all that particulate matter out of your hair. Imagine sleeping on that; it's all exposed to you, right? But also in your nose. So we've heard of the neti pot, right? So nasal irrigation. But we can one up this. We can supercharge this using oregano oil and a combination of other herbs. Rosemary. There's a tiny bit of a tingle. Well, smell this. It's
because
a pretty potent.
I take oregano oil when I have throat issues.
This is a nasal spray.
So
there's the conventional anti.
Yeah, you're gonna smell like a salad.
Right out there. You got pesto pizza. So there's a conventional Benadryl works in a way where it actually helps to reduce histamine or counteracts histamine. Histamine releases from mast cells. Mast cells blow up in response to an allergy. When they blow up, histamine's released, and an antihistamine reduces that. So they work. But what about if we actually stabilized that mast cell in the beginning from blowing up? So quercetin is a bioflavonoid that really works. These sprays can help do that in the nasal cavity, so to reduce the mast cells from emulsing that histamine, that inflammation and itch you were talking about,
so this
can really
is
help to lower that.
preventative, you're saying?
Exactly. So getting those pollens out of your nose, not going to sleep with them, right? And you know me, I'm a huge fan of these nasal strips. So if you're congested and you have a little bit of that, niggle, wearing one of these around the nose, open that up at night can help you breathe better. That's
actually works, huh? For the snorers out there too.
Oh, 100%. And when you're inflamed, the back of the, the nose there, the palate, that's itchy and inflamed, that's causing snoring. So that can can help to
Right.
reduce that as well.
Okay.
This is what I love, bee pollen. So good studies show, especially local bee pollen.
I hear a lot about bee pollen.
Bee pollen, so these things are collecting all the pollens in the atmosphere or in the flowers and bringing them back to the hive, and then they're making this pollen. If you ingest that, you're getting a tiny sample of that.
Right.
It actually helps to reduce and relax the immune response. The incidence of allergy and asthma are correlated, so asthmatics are having a hard time as well. It's 8% of our society is asthmatic, and 70% of them have allergies, so that's a huge deal. For them, asthmatics, to deal with allergies is also imperative. And it starts with an anti-inflammatory diet. We'll talk about that maybe a little bit later.
So anti-inflammatory diet, we're talking about what
foods that are
sorts of
hypoallergenic.
things?
So check those foods with your doctor. So removing, we talked about dander and dust and all that stuff from your home to reduce that spasmodic. So asthma is really just bronchospasm, and sometimes that's immunologic. So it's something you're exposed to. Your body's made a confused choice to react to, causing inflammation and spasm in the lungs. So we're trying to work to increase that, relax the lungs,
open
the airways, and so forth. Sometimes that starts with foods. Foods can cause that bronchospasm.
I didn't realize
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, all
so
right.
checking that with your doctor.
Very good information. Thank you very much, Bryce. Let's go to a break. More coming up.